Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I almost feel like allowing that to go on and on because that's exactly how we feel here. Plenty of energy up in here. Now, welcome to the Engine Care Experience brought to you by the good guys at TotalEnergies. This is the show where we'll take you through how you can keep your car engines younger for longer. My name is Temisa Nokomi, and each show will cover the essential things you need to know for maintaining engine performance and the importance of using premium engine oil products. Now, my co-hosts, as usual, are Shoals and Daye. But like we normally do at this point in time, we do have a special guest from TotalEnergies with us today. So stick around, more about the guest later.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Shoals. In this episode, we will be discussing heavy-duty engines, the types you have in big generators that power our offices, hotels, factories, and homes. Heavy-duty engines are also to be found in industrial vehicles like tractors and diggers. They are also in large buses and haulage vehicles like trailers that plow your roads on long-distance trips daily. How do we keep those heavy-duty engines in shape?
Good thing that's not on me, because if it was on me, they would never be in shape. All right.
And also because you don't know, Teresa.
Yeah, I really do not know. Because you see, when you talk heavy-duty engines, it's not just trailers and haulage vehicles, is it? There's generators as well. I mean, just about every business in this country uses a heavy-duty generator.
You're right.
Those ones that use diesel and yay big. Matter of fact, they call them generators, they call them plants.
Yeah, there's something about plants. Power plants. There's generator power plants.
Yeah, so I'm not talking about I better pass my neighbor. No, that's me. No, we're not talking about even you. You have a medium size.
I do live in my house. How do you
I know your
that?
house, love. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirts. I know your house. All right, pretty soon we'll meet our special guest. But first, Daye is our in-house expert. And I gotta ask, Daye, do you get involved in fixing heavy-duty engines? I mean, one would think an engine is an engine. But when you compare the Mercedes-Benz to the 911 truck, I mean, with different bits and bobs, they're different, aren't they?
When you say 911, some people think it's a Porsche.
I was just...
That's why I use the Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah,
the Benz
so
911.
you mean the 911, the tipper.
The tippers, yes.
The tippers, they are not the same engine.
Oh, yeah, so I would say.
You know, the heavy-duty engine is a heavy-duty topic.
I agree.
But first, let's see how important these vehicles are. They are the unsung heroes of power, commerce, and logistics in Nigeria. My name is Oluwari Daye, and I am an expert in all things engine maintenance and performance. I am head technician at JD Autos, hold a BSc in petroleum and gas engineering, and I'll take you through the A, B, and C of heavy-duty engine maintenance.
There you go. So hopefully on this show, at the end of this show, we'll see the difference between what we drive and we know and what these experts know. Now, first of all, let me introduce our expert from TotalEnergies. He's a big expert on this one. His name is Ken Oseghale. First of all, I'll tell Ken to pronounce his surname better than I have. And he's a Lubricants Technical Support Manager at TotalEnergies. He has loads of experience in everything lubricants with over 15 years hands-on experience. Please, guys, warm engine care experience for Ken. First of all, Ken, first of all, is Oseghale? Oseghale. Oseghale. Don't hurt yourself. It's not French. It's something like that.
Something like that.
And it's Ishan.
Oseghale.
So, Bokia.
Thank you.
Teresa knows like just 3 words.
Yeah. I know Bokia. I know Emma. Emma is pounded yam, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm a foodie. So, Ken, welcome to the show. And first of all, I gotta ask you, Ken, you don't look like a typical heavy-duty engine expert. You look
kind of man.
You look very calm. You look like it's a Porsche 911 Carrera you'll be looking at.
No.
Yeah, it looks like
someone who likes to drive.
Like a bicycle?
No, how about why? Why now, Teresa?
But Ken looks very laid back. I don't want to do anything with engines.
Yeah, I just want to get in my car.
So Ken, how did you get into this? What did you study to get into this?
Thank you, Temisa, for this. I studied mechanical engineering.
That explains it.
Like every engines, whether small, medium, or big, they start very gentle. but in the course of the discussion,
Big up, big up,
So,
big up.
did you see
big
what
up,
he did there?
big up.
Yeah. Nice one. I love
Okay,
that.
Ken,
Does it look
right.
like a, like you just drive a
yourself.
car
so
kind of guy?
you see the revving go from low to high.
So this is, so you're starting low. All right, there you go. I was going to ask you, the different types of engines, but you've already mentioned them. You said, what do you call them? Low engines or small engines? Small engines, medium engines?
Okay, for the purpose of what we are talking about,
Yes.
there is difference between a petrol engine and a diesel engine.
Oh, wow.
In every sense.
Right.
Right from the fuel you burn to run it, to the design of the engine and the applications they are put for use. So in the fuel types, you have petrol, which we commonly call petrol in our climate, or gasoline in the Northern America.
Right.
But the technical name is
PMS.
PMS.
There you go.
Prime Motor Spirit. Thank
Premium
you.
Motor Spirits. I know.
Premium Motor Spirit. Thank you.
I go to school.
So the the other option is the diesel engine, which you use diesel fuel to fire. So from the fuel type, they are very different. And what brings about the heavy duty concept is actually in the fuel. Because when you burn diesel, it assumes serious pressure. So for you to contain that in an engine, you used to build with higher, heavier metals
Right.
to be able to make them work effectively. So that is where the heavy duty is coming in from.
Man, the things we learn.
Temisa, by the time I finish it,
Things we learn on this show.
I'm telling you.
All right, so
let me ask you,
Yeah.
so how do they differ in engineering, to cars and light commercial vehicles?
Okay, in engineering, like I said, the design of them, they are based on different principles. One is based on what we call auto cycle engine concept. The other is based on diesel cycle engine concept. So the diesel engine cycle is far different from the petrol engine, because in petrol engine, you induct fuel and air to burn at the same time. But in diesel engine, you only bring in the diesel, the fuel.
No air.
No air. So the air is compressed further to make it able to, remember what I said about the basic fuel needed, to make it able to burn effectively for you to get the power you need to drive the engine.
So basically, you cannot have a heavy-duty vehicle with petrol engine.
In terms of design, not really, but in application, because of what we use it for, we can, on a layman basis, say it's a heavy-duty.
Brilliant. This is brilliant. So, but are all diesel engines heavy-duty engines? All of them?
It's more of a yes, because of what I just explained.
Because of the mode of operation.
Yes. The amount of steel you need to build a diesel engine is not what you need to build a petrol engine. So they have to be able to maintain the pressure, what we call zip, so that the engine can constantly run. Otherwise, if it throws a high pressure from the combustion chamber, the parts may not be able to sustain it. And one of the reasons why we also have some breakdowns, which we may touch later on.
Oh my goodness. You see, first of all, Ken comes in here and says, I know lubricants. My goodness, Ken, you know everything. What the heck?
Yeah,
he knows everything.
He can tap into everything.
What?
His knowledge is like,
It's brilliant.
It's like that. It's like that.
All right, so because they is our resident experts on motor cars and automobiles. First of all, a lot of times, there's just about everywhere you go in Nigeria. You see broken down haulage
truck
vehicles.
has broken down.
One tipper
Yeah,
is broken
a tipper,
down.
yep.
Is it because of the care of the engine care? Why do you think that happens
Or
a lot?
the lack of
Or the lack
engine
of care.
Yeah, lack of care.
So I think it's a lack of general care. For diesel engines, sometimes something as simple as your battery dying could leave that trailer stranded for over 6 hours.
A battery.
Trailers technically don't use one battery to start with.
Right.
They're usually 48 volts. Most cars are usually 24.
Right.
So most times once the battery dies in a diesel engine, it needs a lot of power to crank. A lot.
No way.
How many batteries?
That's about-
Two batteries
about
most of the
3 cents.
time. So with that, something as little as that, your diesel truck is stranded on the road. Because of what they usually haul, they require immense power, and most of the time, these trucks sometimes are not maintained properly.
Yeah, tail lights are out, nothing.
So most of the time, it's just general lack of maintenance.
So it's really, and you find it's a Nigerian thing, to be
Is it
honest.
though?
Well, we don't want to maintain stuff.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. In addition to what
So
he
our
said.
maintenance culture is
Yeah,
bad.
our
Yes.
maintenance cost. We need to change
In
it. We
addition
can be
to
better.
what he said, it's a system that you need to balance things. So you cannot use a 50 kg to drag 200 kg. So most of the reasons why we see that in Nigerian cases is just we don't maintain what should be done.
Right.
If a truck is built to carry 30 tons and ends up carrying 40 tons, definitely there may be a problem in the course of that operation.
And so we get loads of problems like
We're cutting corners.
yeah, I mean, that's
Exactly.
what happens, you know.
Also, parts can also be a serious problem.
Right.
If you replace a part, and remember what I said about the heaviness of the metal that should be used. If you have something that is not up to the standard, it cannot give you optimal performance, and that leads to a breakdown somewhere along the line.
And I'm glad you're here because all of this series, we talk about cars, vehicles, saloons, SUVs. We didn't really we've never really touched on big engines, haulage vehicles. And it feels to me like you guys at TotalEnergies, you must have thought about engines like that as well. Lubrication for those engines. Do you guys have lubrication for engines like those?
Yes, we have various grades for different models or technologies.
Right.
Let me start with this. If you have to rotate an engine by 3,000 revolutions per minute, the valves we have to open and close 25 times in 1 second.
3,000 revolution. Are we talking
So
revolution?
when you look at your
revolution?
dashboard,
Yeah,
you
dashboard.
see what is showing you RPM.
Yes. RPM. The RPM, yes.
Yes. It's showing you how fast your tire is turning
Right.
in 1 minute.
In 1 minute, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And
There
for
you
you to turn that tire 3,000 times, the valve that is opening and closing to either allow fuel to come for combustion or to allow what you have burnt to be exhausted, the valve has to open and close 25 times in 1 minute.
In 1 minute.
Yes.
And it has to be lubricated.
It has to be lubricated. So for the engine part, the cam, the crankshaft, the cam, the connecting rod, for them to move, to make that rotation eventually happen at the wheels, as well as for the valves to open and close, you need lubrication because lubricants helps to make movement happen smoothly and effectively wherever you have relative motion.
But would you say you need to service a diesel engine more than a petrol because of this? Would you need to...
You need to service as more,
yes,
as frequently as you service petrol engines.
Yes, because from the fuel type, as I mentioned earlier, the petrol is cleaner than the diesel. So in their composition, you have more of sulfur content in the diesel than the petrol. And sulfur is a big danger to metals. When you burn diesel, the tendency for acid to be formed is very high because the sulfur is there, oxygen is there coming from the air for the combustion to happen. And you have the engine environment heated up, which is the perfect condition for acids to be formed. So if that happens, it means there is danger of corroding the metallic parts of the engine.
Right.
And in the lubricants that you need to lubricate them, you have to build up a resistance to fight against that acid formation. For diesel engines, if you have taken a look at the technical properties of a lubricant, you see that what we call TBN for a diesel engine is usually very high.
What's TBN?
TBN means total base number.
Right.
So it's a provision in the engine oil to cater for acid formations.
Brilliant.
In science, you have what you call acid-base reaction.
Right.
Forming neutral products, neutralization. So that component of the lubricant is a base to attack the acid, to neutralize it so that you won't find components causing corrosion.
Love it, love it. So does that mean, so if for instance, I were to buy, and you never can tell, I could buy one, a 911 truck, one of these big haulage trucks, can I use the Quartz 9000? Because I've been in love with it. Since we started this series, I've been talking about the Quartz 9000 everywhere. Can I use the Quartz 9000 for big haulage truck?
Okay, first and foremost, let me clarify this. Quartz range is targeted primarily at petrol engines.
Right.
And you have
Okay.
different types. The Quartz 9000 is on the high range side to meet the more recent technologies
Right.
and high performance applications. For diesel engines, the target product is Rubia from
Oh, the
So we got
almighty.
the Rubia, we got
The
the
almighty Rubia.
Rubia lubricants up here. And I think, you know what, pick it up, just, yeah, there you go. There. See, first of all, because first I can see the Rubia Fleet HD 200. You probably need to show the guys at home what I'm talking about. So there's the Rubia Fleet HD 200. This is one that was made by TotalEnergies for big haulage engines, isn't it?
Yes, for certain models of certain age.
Right.
Because technology keeps evolving. This is like one of the entry products in the Rubia range.
Right.
So you have other grades
Right.
in the range.
Does it go up? This is entry, obviously.
Yes.
So this is the base
So you
one.
have Rubia Fleet HD 200. You have another one, Rubia Fleet HD 300. And you have Rubia TIR 7400. So all these answer to different technology of different
Let me ask you,
ages.
what does HD stand for? Sorry.
heavy duty.
Heavy duty.
Wow.
I mean, now that I said it, it sounds
Wow,
so simple,
wow.
doesn't it?
When I see
You
it,
will
I'm like
know what
HD,
to-
hard drive.
Can we use it on the big generators, the big power plants?
Yes, you can use it for this particular one for big diesel generators of relatively old era, because the specification this one speaks to is quite old. So that is why we have other more recent ones
Right.
to meet the current technology. So when you say big plant, it depends on the technology of that plant
Okay,
to
okay.
determine the Rubia range that should be used for its maintenance.
So if we check the specification for the generator, will it let us know, will it guide us better to know the Rubia to pick?
Yes. The two important things you will see about it is the viscosity grade you need and the performance specification. Performance specification is what you see here as API, American Petroleum Institute,
Oh, right.
who determines the performance level of this engine technology evolution the oil should bring in its application.
Oh my goodness, my God.
So if you look at the manual of your generator, you will see C for API, CI4, CH4, CF4. So that tells you which performance level to take. So for this HD200 I talk about is API CF4.
Now like with cars as well, right? Because I asked this question. Let me sound like a very silly person, because I know silly questions on this show, to be honest.
No, there are. It's knowledge.
Yeah, it's knowledge. No knowledge is wasted. So can I, if the big diesel generator needs, this is the entry level, you say, if it needs something higher and I use this,
What will happen?
what will
could
happen? Is
go
that
wrong?
bad for the engine?
It is ultimately bad for the engine. I
Right.
will explain. When you use, it's a mismatch, and it's going to tell eventually. It's, the layman will say oil is
It's oil, yes.
And it's not true, because they may look the same, but the composition are very different.
Okay.
Different composition. So when you use this for that application, you may not see it with the optical eye that is not performing to the design capacity of that equipment. You still hear the noise, you still see the movement, but it's not giving the optimal result. I give you an example. When you use it, let's assume that engine is in a car. You are supposed to move from Lagos to Ibadan in 1 hour. Without stopping or any hindrance, you discover that in 1 hour you have not reached Ibadan. So it's just because
You're
things
using the
are
wrong-
not
So
working
it's lagging
optimally.
behind.
Exactly.
So there's a
somehow.
Rubia for every
Yes,
engine.
yes.
That makes sense.
I'm armed and dangerous right now. So listen, like
That
seriously.
makes sense.
Seriously.
Now, first of all, you got to admit that whenever we bring these TotalEnergies experts up in here, you learn they crank up the show a little more.
But let me tell you what I love. They just come on so cool.
Yeah, they look
so,
like,
yeah.
you know.
And then they just go like, it's like
he
that.
said it.
Yeah.
He said it goes
Yeah,
from 0
it's
to...
taking off now, yeah.
Yep. All right, so every time we crank it up, and that is a pun for you, we crank it up every time. So this is a show that delivers maintenance insights to all your operators of heavy-duty machinery or vehicles. There's a Rubia for you. Don't take my word for it. Take the expert's word for it. It's time to trust your heavy-duty engines and experience TotalEnergies Rubia as well. Now, thank you very, very much to our special guest, Ken. Please give Ken a big hand. And Ken, you know what? I say this with every time I get one of you experts up in here from TotalEnergies. Don't be a stranger. You know, it seems as if every guest, every expert will bring on is better than the last one.
I'm telling you,
Feels that way.
and so I'm looking forward to more.
You know, because last time I said, hey, this guy was great. Ken was,
Yes,
Ken
yeah.
Chidi was great. Everybody's great.
Yeah.
I should go work.
It's been great, generally.
That's why I'm not working there, because hey, I can be very iffy. I can be very iffy.
Stop
I won't lie.
lobbying.
I'm very iffy.
Stop lobbying,
Hey,
Temisa.
my son will work there.
Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, so a big thank you to Ken for coming through from TotalEnergies Lubricants. Now, to learn more about which Rubia heavy-duty engine oil best suits your engine, visit the TotalEnergies website. Also, hit us up on the TotalEnergies social media channels. It's as simple as that. Details, like I normally do, are in the comments below. Hey, tell us what you think as well, yeah?
In the comments.
Yeah, because
in the comments.
it's below, it's beneath us. All right, tell us what you think as well. All right, from me, Temisan, from Scholes, from Dae, and the brilliant Ken from TotalEnergies.
Yay.
We'll catch you all again soon. Give it up for Ken.
Next up is a competition for you. Watch this next segment of the TotalEnergies lubricant mascot, Robot Quartz, visiting different parts in Lagos. Question: can you identify where in Lagos Robot Quartz is? Bonus question: can you name 2 places Robot Quartz goes past? Submit your answers on Facebook, Instagram, or X using the hashtag #SpotRobotQuartz. See the comments section for the TotalEnergies Facebook, IG, and X handles. Good luck.